guys all see me, whoever's left. What a debacle this has been. Sorry about being late. I've been trying for the last 10 minutes to get this on. One in chat if you can see me. Well, I'm going to start working, and hopefully I'm connected. All right. Never replaced a rear view mirror on a late model vehicle like this, but here goes. Two things you got to take off that I remember is there should be a screw underneath here where your handle is. If they're metal, the magnet will work. Next one is the bolt, the screw at the handle here. Now, there's push pins that hold this whole bottom in. So just pry out. There's a tool you can use to do it, but I don't need it. Mrs. Tanman, hey now. Thank you for letting me know that I am live. You're the best. Soon to be Mrs. King of the Pines. Nice. All right. So it looks like there's 3 bolts to remove. I'm going to guess a 10 millimeter. Being blind ain't a great thing, but you gotta make it work. I need an extension on this and a reducer. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. There's 2 bolts on this side. It looks like one on this side. And this isn't a heated mirror, but it does have a remote control from over there. So there is wiring to it, which is right here. There's little push pins to disconnect it. Okay. we all doing today? I'm going to read the chat in a little bit, and I'm going to thank you all for being here. If this works, I'll do this on a regular basis. And here's my dilemma. I've lived alone since 2010 when Regina, my better half, died. And so I bought this land and I curled up in a ball feeling sorry for myself because what a great woman she was. And so I cleared the land. There was never any address here, so I'm the first. And I kind of started watching YouTube, and I saw Lisa Giordano, the IRL queen, and got into her because she would live stream every day. So she kind of kept me going, and I appreciate her for that. We've had our ups and downs, believe me, but she never pulls any punches, and I appreciate knowing where someone's coming from. You know, I hate someone trying to piss on your back and tell you it's raining out. And, but I do admire her work ethic. She's a go-getter. But so much for that. Shout out to her. And wish her the best. And all live streamers. It's a hard thing to do, you know. But back to what I was talking about. So I curled up in a ball, and now I'm in my middle 60s. I said, I can't do this by myself, and I'm looking for someone else that wants to, live stream, I guess. Originally, I just wanted someone to coexist with, and I live for free out here. It doesn't cost me anything. I got to revise that statement. In Maine, we have a homestead exemption tax. And for the first 14 years, I was under that exemption. I think it's $24,000. So for the first $24,000, you don't pay taxes. Well, this year, I'm over by about $1,400. So I proudly got my first tax bill for $48, I think it was. And I'm proud to pay it. I pay 10 times that amount because it's just such a beautiful place to live. And I believe in supporting a town that keeps it that way, you know. But I'm babbling. So I do have an email. If someone's interested, they want to live for free, and we're compatible, I'll stay the winter here and with the help of someone else. But if not, I'm going to do a road trip to Florida, or at least where it's warm enough where I can boondoggle in my vehicle here and just wait out the winter and then come back up here in the springtime. So let me know what you think about that. All right. Drop one of the bolts down here and get my magnet down there and try to retrieve that. If not, I got a container of extra nuts and bolts. I don't see it on the ground. So sometimes it gets caught up on some of the ledges in here. Found it. It was under the computer module there. So this is all it takes. 3 bolts and 2 screws. 2 screws will hold the panel on. 3 bolts to take off the rear view mirror. Now, as I'm trying to pull this through, it feels like they have a clamp on the wiring. Nope. And you don't want to pull this through if it's binding up because you'll break your wiring. But there it is, folks. Side view mirror. Smashed it with my kayak. So that's junk. Let me go get the other one. I'll be right back. And chatters keep Mrs. Tan Man. Are you the only one in here? Oh, Vicky. How we doing, Vicky? You're a sweet Vicky. You're a good woman. Mrs. Tan Man, you're the best. I appreciate everyone that supports me. Looks like there's 2 in here. And I can't see how many people are in here. But I do appreciate everyone's support. Give me feedback if you would. Leaving now, I'll come back. All right, Mr. Tan Man. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. I ordered this on eBay. It only comes with the 3 bolts, which I'm going to use. The shorter, I'm going to use my original ones. There's no rust on them. So here it is. There's a new unit. See if I can't break this one. Not. This is a little tricky because I don't have a magnetic holder on this. So I just angle it up till I'm in the hole and hopefully it doesn't drop. I think I got her. And make sure the new one comes with the gasket, which I don't think this one does. So I'm going to take this back off. Okay. There's a gasket that goes right here, and they didn't supply it with this unit. Now here's the problem. Okay, here's my original unit. And I can't slide this off because of the connection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it on the bottom so the rain, if in the future, can't get through the top. And I'm going to cut the bottom so I can take this off. Either that, there's 3 bolts in there, and I could disconnect the wiring inside there. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut this gasket and do that method. Give me a minute. I'll be right back. I have to get some clippers. Okay, this is the top, and usually it'll say top on it, but boy, I hate to do this. You know what? Let me see if this expands enough where I can pull that through. I don't think so. Oh, that's a bummer. Well, you can silicone it just to make sure, because it is a real tight fit here, so no water can get through in the future. That's how they designed it. So there you go. Clean it up. And you want to clean the door too, because on the top I can see some pollen that'll show when I put the new unit on. So clean that up real good. So I hope you guys like my friend Ryan. I went to go visit him in Holton yesterday. He's a good guy. I've known him for years. When I first moved here, he introduced himself to me and welcomed me to the state of Maine back in 2010. So it's good to have good friends, that's for sure. Not too many cars today driving by. That's the way I like it. I lost my dog on that road. She got off and ran out. Sad story. She never would chase cars, but there was an Amish coming up the road and she chased the horse, and unfortunately there was a car coming the other direction. Oh, I miss her every day. Every day. Shout out to Genghis Blonde up in heaven. And whenever I think about getting another dog, I says, no dog can compare, but it would be nice to have a companion that I can have as a friend, you know. I don't know why. Oh, okay, I think I see the reason. This might not be for this unit. No, it should fit. Well, let's give that a try. All right, I see a problem. Don't do this, but for some reason I can't get it in because of this little rubber piece here, so I'm going to cut that off. This is called backyard mechanics. I've done it all my life. I've never been to a mechanic except for when I blew the motor on this about a month back or so. Funny story that I'll tell someday. Yeah. So there we go. That should work. And this doesn't want to sit down on this side either. I don't get it. I'm going to cut this off as well. Ay, ay, ay. This is things mechanics do sometimes. You know, you can go to a real reputable dealer and they have little tricks up their sleeve too on backyard mechanicing. That's where we all come from. And thank God for YouTube now. I've saved a lot of money on tackling bigger projects that I've never would have tackled before. So, shout out to YouTube. Informational videos. Wow. This is definitely not made for this because here's another issue I'm seeing. A bunch of them. Wow. Okay, the original one is cast. Oh, you're an idiot, Johnny Rob. There is a gasket on it, so I'm such a dummy. There is a gasket. I couldn't see it. All right. I told you it was going to be a train wreck. Be forewarned. Don't worry, I don't know how to edit, so this will all still be staying in. Now, a little trick, if you can't get it threaded, the threads to start, you go backwards till you hear it click. And then go right, turn to tighten. But I got it on the first try. Happens once in a while. I did the top, now doing the bottom. And I don't use the ratchet. I find it easier just to hand tighten and then go back with the ratchet and make the final tightening. Last one. And don't forget to rehook up your wiring harness, especially if it's electronic. It only goes in one way. Okay, and then there's a part you clip in there. Now, not a good idea. See the tension on these wires? I should have had this propped up so it's not putting pressure on the wires. There's a plastic barrier. Make sure that that goes back on. That's for moisture. And then you want to hook it on your top first, because there's a lip. And sometimes it's better with the window down. Okay. And then the rest you just clip it in. Put your 2 bolts back in, one here and one in the door handle. I'm not going to do it because I might do a short on how to do this later. So, well, anyway, that was just a short video on how to mess things up. I'm the king of that sometimes. I kid. I usually don't mess things up, but once in a while, I do. I like to hand tighten, not with the, I like to hand tighten with a regular screwdriver so you don't over torque it. And just make sure you're lined up. And you may not see the screw on certain models. There's a little plastic tab you got to pull up with a regular screwdriver. And that's it. All done. I'll put that tab back in place. Well, glad I figured out how to go live. I wasn't sure when it started. I was trying to figure it out at the beginning. That must have been pretty humorous. If that was the case when my face is in the laptop I'm recording off of, because I didn't see the camera on, so it probably deleted that part. But all right. Let me get in the shade. I usually watch live streams on the big screen, so I'm going to be able to reach that. My glasses. Alex Novell. Thanks for the shout out, Alex. I thought you were the guy that sold me the vehicle. Now I remember who you are. Alex Novell is a guy that does investigative journalism on live streamers in real life. But shout out to Alex. Haven't seen much of your stuff lately. I've been real busy, just surviving. But yeah, I did enjoy your content. It got a little too much drama for me, but that's what sells, I guess. I want to have just a peace and love type of stream, but there's definitely an audience for anything. So what I'm going to do now before I leave, just to document it, I haven't done a one-arm push-up, and I'm going to say it's got to be at least 3 years. And I probably can't do one, but I'm going to try it. And I got to give a shout out to the Tan Man. He was the one that, you know, I was watching one of his streams. He was talking about how you got to stay in shape and do your push-ups. And so I got down. I haven't done a push-up in 3 years, either way, one arm or two arm. And I used to be able to do 25 and not even get tired or sore. And I went down the other day and I did 25, and boy, that was hard. So I'm going to give you a little laugh and try to do a one-arm push-up. I used to be able to do 25 of those back in the day, but I weigh nothing, so it's easier when you're a little guy. You don't weigh much. So let me see if I can set this up. All right. Probably can't do it. Oh. Getting ready to do it. I don't know if you can see this. I don't use paper towels. I use nature as like paper towels and stuff usually. But there's some of that fox poop that I almost did a push-up in. Let me get rid of that. Got another fresh one here. All right, here goes. Here goes nothing. $31. I've never done that many. Whew. Wow. Probably have no viewers, but I did it for myself. Oh, shit. One in chat if there's anyone there. Otherwise, I'm closing this down. Well, I want to thank everyone out there that has peace and love in their heart. And you all have a blessed day. Peace. Of course, I hit the end stream, it doesn't do anything. Well, it's good to hear, Alex. If you're still here, I don't even know if I'm live anymore.